It is Saturday night once again. This is the Overnight Bounce Party. I'm Jim Foss, and tonight we have Gizzard Gary back from the dead. How's it going?
The rumors of my death have greatly been exaggerated. I'm fine. Thank you for having me, by the way.
So he's only mostly dead.
That's been back way for years now. So,
gun websites. How's it going, G-Webs?
Fair to Midland. My concern is, do we wear some sort of a filter, or does Gizzard have to wear it? But how do we prevent getting whatever Gizzard had?
Oh, it's too late for that. If you're gonna get it, you got it. Guns Barb.
And is it the bird flu?
How's it going, Barbecue?
It's going all right. Thanks for the invite. Thanks for hosting. Thanks for doing this at ungodly hours.
Yep. At the bottom of the screen, there's a banner with the email address on tacticalfoss@gmail.com. You can send in comments, suggestions, or pictures within reason. And there's the address for the Discord server. Join up. Come hang out. You can get a hold of me, share pictures there, and pretty much anybody else that comes on, you can get a hold of them through the Discords. It's G-Web's favorite place to be. So, in the District of Columbia, the 10-round limit on magazines was ruled unconstitutional by a 3-judge panel. So we'll wait to see if that goes to the en banc. But for now, that's good news. I guess the national constitutional carry is being pushed again. Saw a story where bill was introduced. I forget who introduced it. Just kind of came across it. So the West Virginia machine gun dealio that they were trying to get going, their bill did not, I don't think it made it out of committee, but it sounded like it was introduced too late to get any traction anyway. But it doesn't mean it's dead. It's just not going to go anywhere this session. There's NSSF v. Letitia James in New York, and that has to do with the PLCA. Now I forget what PLCA stands for. but it's basically the law that says that you can't punish gun companies for what a third party does illegally with their legal.
PLACCA, Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act.
Thank you. What some of the anti-gun states are doing is taking the criminal law, which they cannot apply, and changing it to civil law and applying it that way. So the NSSF is suing to get that ruled unconstitutional also. And U.S. v. Hamani, the oral arguments were heard in the Supreme Court, and that had to do with drug users and gun ownership, which Barbecue talked about on his chat Thursday night. And
We did.
I thought that most of the discussion kind of missed what I would think the main point of the discussion should have been. DJ kind of touched on it. I believe he was referencing it, but because everyone talked about basically being stoned and carrying a gun. Well, that's not the issue in my mind. It's
Correct.
more separating the two, because the argument, I listened to all of the oral arguments, and it gets tied to alcohol. Yeah. Well, you can drink alcohol and you can own a gun. You just can't carry a gun while you're drinking alcohol. Same should be with, say, the marijuana. You can smoke marijuana. You can own a gun. You just can't carry your gun while you're smoking the marijuana. I think, to me, that's the core of the issue. And unfortunately, I thought it got overlooked on your discussion.
The last couple chats where we had a fairly serious discussion, it seemed to veer off topic, and even if I tried to bring it back, it just wasn't working.
I
On
blame
either.
the host for that and his lack of keeping us on topic, and not the participants, because we're doing it perfectly, but the host is what I blame really most of all.
It is the host's fault.
And I'm not meaning to criticize your chat.
Oh,
No, it's fine. It's saying, 'cause
I criticize just the host, though.
I feel the same way.
As they say, the Overton window on marijuana has moved, but there's still a lot of people that think it's that marijuana is this thing that will destroy your life if you use it. I have never smoked marijuana. I have never had edibles or anything like that. I've never tried it. It's just never been something I've wanted to try.
Well, keep in mind, though, we are less than 100 years removed from Prohibition. And there were a number of people for a number of years thought the same thing about alcohol, that if you touch alcohol, it ruins your life. You go insane, you destroy everybody around you. And I think we've since kind of burst that bubble, where I don't believe he characterized anybody who uses any alcohol at all as an alcoholic. And I think we've got to get over the point where we consider everybody who uses marijuana to be a stoned out pothead. I mean, it's like there are happy mediums. There is, constructive recreational use that, that falls way in between the two. Just much as there is if somebody has a beer after dinner or something like that. We wouldn't consider that abnormal. So, we've kind of got to look at extremes here.
I mean, and there are legitimate medical uses for it, where it is safer than the pharmacological solutions, the doctors have to use for PTSD, help alleviate some of those issues. Cancer patients that, while they're going through treatment, can't eat. That is the side effects of the treatments. They lose their appetites, so they lose weight. And it's hard for them to stay healthy. And it can increase the, kind of gives them the munchies, so they want to eat. And there's probably others that I'm just not thinking of right now. Those are the two that come to mind.
I think there's also an aspect or a facet of this whole thing that, again, I would blame Barbecue for not bringing up on his show, but and I hold it against him. But the idea that this is talking about marijuana pills or whatever, but then what they were discussing is like, does one marijuana pill make you an addict? Like, if you take one marijuana pill, well, like, should you be a prohibited possessor for the rest of life? Then, this instance is about the marijuana pills, but like next week, depending on what they decide, what's next? Like, oh, well, this guy is on, I don't know, some kind of pill for headaches, and then, he was supposed to take 2, but he took 3, or he was supposed to take 2 and he only took 1. So, now is that affecting his ability to own a firearm for life? And then there's I forgot what they said, but like the husband has a prescription, the wife takes a pill to go to sleep or something. Is she a felon at that point because she took a prescription pill without having a prescription written for her? And then should she be prohibited from life? And, so I'm saying, like, the idea that you erase the marijuana part and fill in the blank with whatever the pill of the day is, or whatever, the new thing that they come up with, or if they say, coffee is fine, but if you're going to be drinking espresso, you probably shouldn't have heavy equipment in control of the car or guns and stuff. If like times change and coffee gets stronger or whatever, there's some new drug they come up with because they figure out if you smoke COVID, it's a drug or something. I don't know. They come up with something new, then they're going to start applying that, right? Like they're going to use this scrutiny for that. And there's, I think, that element of it, or no? That like this is the marijuana, but it's opening the door for this whole idea of like, at what point are you, what's the word, intoxicated or whatever?
That was brought up during the oral arguments by some of the judges, and
then again, like, you smoke one marijuana joint or one marijuana pill, are you like now for extra time? Like, you only had it the one time, you did it in college once. You can't own a firearm for life because of that you're now disqualified. Like, how can you disqualify yourself for something, for an action decades ago type of thing?
It is framed more as in the God, now I can't think of what it says exactly, 4473, but the way it's worded, it sounds more like currently illegally using.
Well, you're talking about the 4473.
Yeah.
Right, but if they're going to say currently using means one puff of a marijuana pill on Tuesday means you're disqualified for the rest of life.
Yeah, I would not support that, but like I said, with more states where it's legal, and the government attorney was asked about, well, it's legal in some states, and she's like, well, it's still illegal federally. Kind of lost the.
And it's also weird that like we're in the process, or it sounds like we're in the process of rescheduling it to 3 instead of 1 anyway. So it's not even scheduled, whatever that is, narcotic.
Well, that's one of the things that was asked because
Oh, they did?
the attorney for the state said, well, some of the drugs you're mentioning are like a Schedule 3, Schedule 4, Schedule 5. And one of the justices, I want to say it might have been Kennedy. Don't quote me on that. Anyways, the justice had flat out asked, they're like, why are we here? He's like, why did you pick this case? Like, this is in the process of possibly being rescheduled in the first place, where it could be going down to a Schedule 3. So then if you're saying Schedule 3 drugs, those are fine, they're like, tomorrow this could be for not anyway. So why pick this case?
Did they have an answer for that?
No, it did not appear. To say it was some of the stuff. The state seemed like they were getting cut off because, like, the judges, is more of a rhetorical question. Like, we don't need you to answer here, and they just kept rolling.
It's more like they're there as resource, but the judges are really talking to each other, or like just talking out loud and putting it on the record. Like their thought process, or like their, I don't know, like their I guess it would be their process of conclusion or something.
Vulcan Rumble said marijuana smokers are not allowed to work in national security and carry guns. Marijuana was made illegal because it financed communist groups and South America.
It says now allowed, so it kind of makes a big difference between now and not. So I'm not sure which one it is.
Oh, I misread it. Or now, sorry about that. Marijuana smokers are now allowed to work as carry guns.
Is that for real? Like, I don't know. But if that's the case, then that's like changing the laws in the form of like, leave this whatever, the situation alone.
Part of the reason marijuana was made illegal was because Mexicans smoked it. And DJ brings up glaucoma is another group that uses marijuana. Gizzard said, how about prescription pain relievers?
I've read a report by Dr. Peter Tosh about how marijuana is the only cure for glaucoma.
Mr. Bob is out there. He said 5 guys getting drunk will start a fight. 5 guys smoking pot will start a ban. I've seen it happen.
5 guys making hamburgers will use peanut oil to fry their fries.
Yeah, but their fries still aren't that great. They're okay.
They're super greasy.
They're on the soggy side.
Oily. But that is true. They do make a oily fry. They're not crispy. Like, they're designed to, they're told to not make them crispy. They're hot and they're firm, but they're not, and they're not clumped together, but they're not.
And they give you a lot of them. And then also from I had wanted to be I was gonna try and make the chat, but I ended up staying up, going to bed late, so I had to miss your chat barbecue. G-Webs had brought up the dispensaries, the pot shops, or a cash business, because federally they're not allowed to use the banking system. Washington, they can locally, but then you have there's the state and the federal laws are in contradiction. So it's basically still an all cash business, and which also had created a problem for the state, for Washington State, because when the dispensaries pay their taxes, they pay in cash because it's the only way they can pay.
There's no way to transfer from a bank.
So now the state had to figure out how to deal with accepting all this cash, millions of dollars in cash.
But oddly, the state was able to quickly adapt to taking a shit ton of cash from them. Weird, so weird. They were able to just spin on a dime and immediately accept that cash.
They did.
With them.
And there's one other thing that was brought up, which I just slipped my mind. I was going to touch on
another angle on it.
Well, that was brought up during barbecue's chat.
Good hosts, what they'll do at the end is make like a chapter list, and they'll put timestamps in their description. Barbecue doesn't bother with that. He believes it's
the robots don't do that. I thought the robots would do that. I thought the AI overlords would have had all that figured out by now.
Well, he kind of ran into the problem when you have a lot of guests. It's nice because you get a more diversified opinions, but they all start talking at one time.
Yep.
Well, and he also, in the green room, he had a bunch of marijuana gummies, and he was forcing them on everybody. He was peer pressuring them on everybody.
Gary was shoving them up people's butts, told them to butt chug. It's like, that's not how those work. They're not suppositories.
Anything can be a suppository.
Mm-hmm. Think outside the box.
I've watched South Park. Come on, man.
Just
satellite dish.
Not hard enough. Yeah. So, I don't know. Was there anything else going on? Gun news wise? Recently? Nothing?
From Hawaii, right?
What's up with Hawaii?
I don't know. I feel like there's something happened in Hawaii. Plus, I feel like something happened in Hawaii because all of a sudden I'm seeing Hawaii gun shops in my social feeds.
I don't know. The last Hawaii news I knew of was when they had I forget the name of the case, but the implied, yeah, they're, it happened, and then so I don't recall hearing anything else about Hawaii. I will say, if you go to Hawaii, as you're coming home, buy the pineapple at the airport. They have for sale. It will be the best pineapple you've ever had. It'll be better than any pineapple you've ever had in the States, in mainland U.S. I'm willing to wager Gary's reputation on that.
Boy, you're going out on a limb, aren't you?
That's how strongly I feel. Well, let me.
Magazine ban, right? That's what you started with.
Which one?
The DC magazine ban
Yeah.
being lifted. Okay.
Yeah. Let me say hello to everybody. Krabby Turtle was out there a little earlier. Gizzard Gary, DJ Play Nice, X Adam 1. He's working and twerking. Woods. Vulcan Rumble. So Garage Guy is out there. And Vulcan Rumble said Herrera, Brandon Herrera won.
I was going to say that's something that's gun related that I noticed that, or whenever I watched, I watched these military dudes interview themselves all the time. So the one dude is a SEAL and he's in Congress, the guy with the eye patch, Crenshaw. And then other SEALs are super popular podcast hosts. And the one guy was saying that he doesn't like Crenshaw because of this and that. And then Crenshaw DM'd him on Instagram. And the guy with the podcast was like, he threatened me. So everybody's like, Crenshaw's an asshole for other reasons. But at least the reason it was on my radar is because this one podcaster kept saying, like, Crenshaw's a jerk and he makes all this money. So then one of the people that I would say is like not a fan of Crenshaw had him on to interview him. And was like a hostile interview, I'd say, like a softball interview. And he asked him all these questions, and most of the answers were, in my opinion, not necessarily what the guy wanted to hear and what people want to hear, because it's not like you're right and they're wrong. It wasn't those kind of answers. It was like answers like, how come we shouldn't have what do they call it? What do they call them? Where you can't be elected over and over. Oh, term limits. How come term limits won't fix this? How come, why do we have all these complicated rules? Why can't it be simpler? And instead of Crenshaw just saying, oh, yeah, I agree, it should be simpler. This sucks. And it's their fault that it's not simpler. He was like, it's complicated. What do you want? There's like tons of lawyers. If you do anything, there's there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of people's have a lot of interest in the things that are going on. And when they bring, their position to the mix, then it gets more complicated. It's just the nature. We have a lot of people and it's a very complicated world. So it's complicated. And he didn't, you might not like those answers, but I thought, a lot of people in the comments like, this guy's a political guy. All his answers are political. And in my opinion, I didn't have any skin in the game because I'm not in Texas and I could care less, honestly. It's a Navy thing. But like I say, my experience was that this guy's an asshole. I listened to that interview and I'm like, he's not an asshole. He's just real. He's just like an honest dude who's trying to go to Congress and do stuff.
He also supported red flag laws under
it. Yeah, everybody says that. And I'm like, yeah, Trump said red flag laws, and he said maybe at the state level once. And then ever since then, everybody's like, he's been for red flag laws. So he's like, the guy interviewing him was like, what about red flag laws? You hate guns? He's like, no, I don't hate guns. I'm a gun dude. Like, I tried to do the thing when I was first year and I, came out wrong and people didn't like it. So nothing I can do about that. I've said it, but at the same time, I've tried to put legislation to get rid of red gun law or red flag laws ever since. And nobody will ever give me credit again. Like I'm done because of whatever the interpretation of what I tried to say or whatever. So then I was saying that with Tony earlier, and I'm not going to change anybody's mind because I don't care. But if we're able to be told that this guy hates guns and now we hate him and we can't change our mind, then that sucks. Like, then we have to have only perfect people who only do the perfect thing represent us. We expect everybody to be perfect and never falter. Well, then we're allowed to have that, that whatever, like that want, but whether or not we're ever going to find people that do that, and if we really can only handle perfection, then it's going to be tough because we can't handle Glocks. There's a whole bunch of people that hate Glocks. So, when we're handed perfection, we often question it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh.
I was going to say I'm not in his state. I wasn't voting for him. I wouldn't have voted for him for other reasons too. But yeah, it doesn't. I don't really care. It's like Brandon Herrera. I don't really care about Brandon Herrera either.
I don't like AK guy from moment. I don't trust him at all. I've been in chats with him, and I don't trust the human being. Like, he's fake, but people love him, so I don't give a shit. Like, vote for the fake guy. I don't care. And the other guy he's voting against is like some kind of jerk anyway. So or running against was some kind of jerk, right? So it's not like he took the spot of somebody who's awesome. But I just think it's a phenomenon. Like I say, I didn't really care, but I had like a negative or no opinion of Crenshaw. Listen to that interview from a hostile interviewer, and he did what you'd expect. He, like, as an adult human, he's like as Edward or what's his name would say. Basically, though, when you give somebody 4 hours or 3 or 4 hours to plead their case, and you keep asking them the same questions over and over, and they're able to explain, I mean, what the fuck? Like, that's all you can ask out of somebody. But anyway, so in my mind, it's just interesting that we're able as a community to be told this guy's anti-gun, and we're like, done, period. Like, we're never going to change our mind unless this guy like just goes over the top and does everything for us. He's done. Fine. Like, then who the hell?
Well, what has he really done to prove that he really isn't pro red flag law?
That's what Tony kept saying, and it's like I don't know. There is no answer to that other than his answer is, we're not all magical, and if you want a magical answer, that's unrealistic. I go to Congress to represent my district, and that's it. And because I'm in Congress, I've been given, like, I'm trying to get on committees. I'm doing defense stuff, so he's doing like top secret defense stuff at whatever that the defense committee is. So he's like, because I'm in that committee, I'm not paying attention to the environment. I'm not paying attention to boat laws. I'm not paying attention to immigration, which also people give a bunch of shit about right now. It's like super hot topic. I don't know shit about it. I mean, he's like, I don't know about immigration, but it's not my specialty. So for him, I believe his answer would be, I'm passionate about guns. I think we should be free or something, but it's not my job. My role is to do be on these committees. So my crew, or whatever you call, like,
I don't buy that for a second, though. Like, he still has a job to vote everything else just because he's on the committees. If he can't do the job plus be on the committee,
you can continue to say that. Now, here's what I'll tell Tony. Like, I think you should listen to an interview where somebody who's an actual representative explains it to you, because if you're going to expect a representative to do it all, then that's essentially what a child would expect. Like, I want to have everything. So
no, I want them to do their job. If I have a job and then I say, I can take on extra work,
and saying he should do everything. So you're saying he should have a job. His job should be to do everything.
No, well, I'm saying he got voted in to do a job.
4 hours.
His constituents. All right. Are you going to let me reply here? Or are you just going to keep talking?
No, say the same thing again.
His constituents voted him to do a job. They didn't vote him in to say, hey, we want you to be on this defense committee. They voted him in to represent them. So that means he needs to go and represent them. Right? And if he wants to be on the defense, Congress.
You got to let him finish, G-Webs. Let him finish his point, and then you can answer.
All right, say it again.
Well, I'll say if he was voted in to do a job, and if his constituents felt he wasn't doing the job they wanted him to do, and whether he's saying he's on this committee doing this, doing that, they say, no, that's not what we want you to do. And they vote him out because they're not doing what the constituents wants. That's what the process is supposed to do. That's
Yeah,
what the process
exactly.
apparently did.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying it's interesting that we're willing to accept that. When if you listen to the guy, he's telling you, like, what do you want? Like, you want us to do the job, or do you want us to run the country? He's like, you hire us to represent our district to run the country. So when you go there, you get assigned a committee. You can say you want your representative to do it all, but that's not possible. Your representative is not privy to everything that happens in every committee. That's why they have committees. So a committee gets what they call like specialized staff that know what they're talking about. If it's immigration, or if it's tax law, or if it's health, or if it, pick any facet
Well,
of
is that
freaking government.
what I would ask? Is that why he was voted out?
Who do you think is going to do these jobs? If every
Was
representative
the
told,
interviewer
"Only worry
his
about your
is the
district," then
interviewer
who does
one of
those
his
jobs?
constituents? Is he just somebody that didn't like him and was interviewing him? You can't say, oh, he was voted out because of what the interviewer. If the interviewer isn't one of the
I didn't say he
voters,
was voted out
it
because
doesn't
interviewer.
matter.
I said I think it was an interesting interview to listen to a representative who knows the deal, like how it works, talking to not just his constituents, but anybody who's involved here. Because what he's dealing with is bad press from the national level. There's people that have nothing to do with Dan Crenshaw's district that hate him. Right? So gun people, it's because of guns. Other people, it's because he's rude. Other people, it's because they think he embezzled a bunch of money or did insider trading or whatever. I'm just saying it's interesting that since he's been painted as fill in one of those blanks, and then he does a 4-hour interview with a hostile interviewer to take on all those questions, and he's just sat there taking on all those questions, and he answered them. You don't obviously his constituents didn't listen to that or didn't accept him or whatever because he's voted out, and I'm not disputing that. I said it's interesting that we're willing to take the narrative and not listen to the dude's actual answers. And he's literally spent 4 hours or more, because he's probably been on other shows offering his perspective. And his answers are, again, you can send anybody you want to Congress. If everyone just goes to Congress and worries about their constituents, like their local house, nothing gets done in government. Like absolutely nothing gets done, because how do you you go there and that doesn't happen because they all go there and get immediately assigned jobs, and then that's their job in Congress. So yes, they're there to represent their constituents in Congress to do their job. So this idea that he's only there to worry about what happens in that section of Texas is only a portion of what he's there to do, because he's there to also be a part of the Congress. And they decide, I guess at some point they said, we have a lot of work to do, so we're going to specialize, and chunks of people are going to be put into committees, and then those committees are going to do the things that we're tasked to do as a body. Anyway, he explained all that, and that's what I'm saying. I thought it was interesting because I had no expectation other than to hear the guy backpedal or justify his positions or something. And he was able to easily do that because basically all the stuff that was thrown at him was ghostware. So he was easily, able to address that because he's done it over and over. And then he tried to to explain this concept, because that was Mike's position. Hey, you're here to represent these people in Texas. What are you worried about this committee for? And that's why I think he did a pretty decent job of explaining the situation that you guys are upset about. It sounds like our barbecue's upset about.
Ex-Bowman's is out there. Well, he got voted out, so the people have spoken. Doesn't matter what he said. Doesn't matter how he said it.
I'm saying. This is the interesting part, that we're willing to accept it because it's too difficult to listen to 4 hours of an actual explanation. So we're never going to be satisfied.
Or maybe 4 hours isn't enough to reverse everything that he's done in the last 8 years that he's been in office.
I'm trying to justify him. I said it was an interesting insight into the situation that government.
You just said that it's okay, or we can be okay with the fact that he got voted out because we didn't listen to 4 hours of a interview.
It's okay that he got put out because we're okay with the narrative, is what I said. And there is a 4-hour interview that you can listen to understand why that narrative is bullshit. But we don't want to because that's, it's not our obligation and we don't have to. So we're not going to. I wouldn't either. I'm just saying it's interesting that because I happen to have that insight, I know that this was a massive scam and that we all fell for it. And it's not like it matters because who the fuck cares? How many times has this happened where you haven't been paying attention to it? I don't care. I think it's sad that you think that all Congress people just go there and can do what they feel like literally can do what they feel like. They literally can't. They have a job. Like they get assigned. You're going to be in so many committees and that's going to be your job, period. I mean, that's just how it is. So it would be, again,
So
like
if they're
an unknowing child being mad that their parents aren't home all the time, not understanding that they also have to go make a living.
Because you're saying that they're all on committee, that means that none of them have time to actually represent their constituency and nothing's getting voted on. So like, what's going on here?
Where did you come up with that? Because I never said that.
Because you just said that they're all on committee, and you just said that Crenshaw said, "Oh, I can't do this, that, or the other thing because I'm on this defense committee."
He didn't say he couldn't do shit. He actually did quite a bit. The narrative is that he, from people that don't like him, is that he didn't do shit. And what can he do other than say, "Here's the shit I did"? So I don't give a shit about Crenshaw. I'm saying it's interesting that as a whole, we all think that our Congress people are doing one thing, but in reality, they're doing something else. And since that guy was on the chopping block, he enunciated it very well against a hostile interviewer of like, yeah, here, you really think term limits are going to solve this? Because that was just Mike's biggest thing. It's like, why doesn't term limits just solve this? We don't have bad politicians. Like, you guys can't make a bunch of money on insider trading if you're not there for more than 2 years. So he kept answering that question over and over too, with the same thing. Like, we got to do, like, we run the country. You hire us to run the country for this district, from this district, but we're there to run the country. And that's where most of us aren't really paying attention. We think that they go up there and they just do what they feel like. When in reality, it's like they're part of a massive bureaucracy and they just get stuck in there. There's 300 of them or whatever there is. And they know how it works with 300 people. They divide them up into these, this many committees. And now they're tasked with like your constituency and, your district and whatever else. And that's why it's like, I'm sure it must suck for some people who are like, yeah, we send them there because we give a shit about mashed potatoes. And the mashed potato industry is, what we care about. And they get stuck on environment or something. And now they're an environmental expert.
But so if they're the environmental expert, they still have to take care of the mashed potato lovers.
Yeah, they're tasked with both. And then the mashed potato lovers who refuse to understand that there's a rest of a country will go, you didn't give a shit exclusively about mashed potatoes, and vote them out. And then that district will never have satisfaction because they always expect the person to only give a shit about mashed potatoes. And if mashed potatoes,
it's because why they voted them in.
And I'm talking about expectations, dude. But I guess again, if you only want to hear Crenshaw's right, then go talk to
I don't care who it is at this point, whether it's Crenshaw or whoever. Take the name out of it. I'm saying they get voted in to do a job. If they get put on a committee, great. That means they get to do that job with the committee plus do the job that they were voted in for by their constituents.
Yep, that's the task. So anyway, I thought it was interesting and an insight that I had not had somebody just lay it out instead of being a politician about it. Like, try to get Gavin Newsom to explain all that. It would be goofy and weird, and it would be uncomfortable, and he wouldn't be able to get it across. And
yeah, you probably wouldn't get a straight answer from
right. And I'm sure people are going to listen to that Crenshaw thing and go, "Oh, like Tony." He's like, "Oh, I couldn't get a couple of, he wouldn't be able to get a couple of minutes into it, and he wouldn't like something about it," which is fine. I'm not saying that fucking Crenshaw is right or nothing. I just thought because I happen to see it, it's a good illustration of like our expectations versus reality. And again, since politicians get stuck in that gap, like, oh fuck, I got too much to do. Like, I'm only human. They start being politicians and being all like casting blame and accepting credit they don't need and that kind of shit.
Ozzy Orsborn is out there. Good evening. Yeah, Wood said so. Guns are cool. They are. I'm going to go next weekend, fill out the 4473, and then get to wait 10 days for safety to pick up a gun.
Are you telling anybody what it is?
Nope, not yet.
For whose safety?
That's a good question. Well, in my honest opinion, mainly it's the government does it for the government's safety. But they don't state it that way.
Bob's got it right. The complexity is the real issue.
Mr. Bob said, I think the role of the federal government has changed. Instead of the representatives representing the interests of the people back home, they're trying to run a bloated, overgrown bureaucracy. And manage a budget in the trillions of dollars that doesn't leave a lot of time to cherry pick favors for the folks back home.
I mean, how much is a representative? How much of their time can they honestly devote to back home issues? I mean, they've got the day-to-day workings of Congress. You know, like we say, tax bills, every other bill that comes across, blah, 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 blah. And how often do you get to, well, I want to have a vote for my constituents back home. Well, you know, when do you get a chance to do that?
Sounds like when they get really powerful so that they get to decide, you know, agendas and stuff.
It's
Whatever they-
when we would have senators, we considered it a big deal if they got put on the agriculture committee, you know, because that's a big deal to Kansans and stuff like that.
A lot of it will show up as funding for projects in your state or whatever district the congressperson is, you know, funding for this project or that project. I get emails from, well, I signed up for the senator, but I rarely get emails. The Congress lady, you know, for my district, she sends out emails regularly about, I did this, I did that, I brought this much money back, and here's me doing this, and here's me doing that.
And then there's the aspect of, like, they've said it in different interviews, or they've alluded to it in different interviews, because, you know, different people in different offices, but they, you know, if there's 100,000 constituents, like 14,000 of them vote and 6,000 of them give a shit. And the other ones are like their spouses, you know what I mean? So they might have 100,000 constituents, but unless they're stupid, they're gonna be paying attention to what the voter one, you know, the ones that are voting often, like what their interests are. So if they have 100,000 that are worried about boats, and the people that are voting are worried about trains, you know what I mean? They're going to be more worried about trains than boats, more likely. Or at least the greasy kind of politicians that just deal with, you know, practicality or whatever, like the way to get votes and not what's right or whatever.
Vulcan Rumble said, guns are jewelry for men. I don't know if I agree with that.
Interesting.
They can be, but they're more practical than jewelry. Jewelry doesn't do shit. Guns can do something. 9mm is useless, so it could be jewelry, I guess. It's like costume jewelry.
Well,
It might be jewelry, but it's the kind of jewelry you can buy at a gas station.
I wish. probably are some like in the South, gas station, gun stores. We don't have anything like that up here. Like there's a donut shop, gun shop. I forget where that one was at.
They should combine a gun range with a laundromat. You could go in, start your laundry, go shoot your guns for a few minutes. Go back, put them in the dryer.
Good point.
It'd be great.
At least put a laundromat next to a range, because also, noise or whatever. Who cares at a laundromat if they hear some noise? You know what I mean?
I think
for an hour.
if I were to frequent a laundromat, I would probably rather have a batting cage next to the laundromat. I wouldn't want to lug my guns out and do laundry, but a batting cage, you do your laundry and you don't have to bring any equipment.
What if you get a free rental for each load, and then all you got to pay is for ammo?
That would be different. I could go for that.
And you could put a car wash on the back of the building, and if you spend an hour at the range, you get a token for a free car wash. It'd be great.
I was going to say, I've seen laundromats that do that, because there's some laundromats that are next to car washes that I think do that.
I've seen laundromats that are next to bars, which I think is a hell of an idea. But do you really want drunk people doing laundry? I mean, what's next? People smoking marijuana and doing their laundry? Do we want that?
Ozzy said holsters are jewelry for men.
You can tell if they're doing the marijuana and doing laundry because they'll just be sitting there staring at the washer or the dryer, right? Like a TV.
Yeah, watching the clothes go round and round the dryer.
Yeah.
Whoa. Cool.
It's like a live tie-dye, man.
Now, I will say I will do that sometimes. And I'm not smoking the marijuanas. But I will also, when I turn the sprinklers on, I will end up standing there for 5-10 minutes just watching the sprinklers. I don't know why. Just, yeah, I don't know.
And
It's
find
kind of
just
soothing.
a perfect angle where you can see the rainbow through your sprinklers, which is
just
kind of
watch-
cool sometimes.
Just watching I've got in the front yard, I've just got the ones that pop up, and then they'll slowly rotate. And then in the backyard, I've got those plus one that has the long throw to get most of the backyard. And I'll just kind of stand there and watch it. I get mesmerized by it.
I was just sitting here thinking about it, and I feel like if a person in government truly cared about their constituents, they would do our laundry for us.
I don't know. Maybe it's just that I've never been rich, so I've never, other than, my mother and my wife, I don't know if I would want other people doing my laundry.
I was going to say, I don't want people touching my underwear.
How rich you got to be before you just keep buying new clothes and just like, I'm done, have this washed and donated. Like, I don't want this anymore.
I don't know.
Assuming that you
came out-
want new clothes all the time. I don't see the appeal of that. I'd rather have clothes that I've worn before. But, I know some people are like, I would get rich and I would never wash a sock. I would just always put on a new sock.
Back during the Clinton presidency, apparently they had donated clothes, and then claimed it on their taxes, but they had donated underwear.
Yeah, people do that all the time.
Would you buy used underwear?
It's donated often, but yeah, it's like people that don't care. And then I think it's also, don't forget, like you buy like a 12 pack and you're like, oh, this is the wrong size. So you donate the 9 or whatever, you know what I mean, that you didn't use. So it's not always the grossest thing you're thinking of. Sometimes it's just, I bought 12 pair and they're not what I like anymore. So I never even opened them. I donated them. At least I'm assuming that happens too, because I've been to enough thrift stores to see stuff in the package all the time. So
Today I found a Amazon package.
mhm.
I didn't know what it was. Opened it. It was a pair of jeans that I didn't remember ordering. Apparently, I had ordered like a month ago and just got buried under some other stuff.
You heard of this scam where somebody will send you something and then it looks like it's from Amazon or whatever, and then you go, "What the hell is this?" And you scan the receipt that's in there, and now you got a virus.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I just hear about that all the time.
I would never scan a barcode without knowing what it was.
Plus, it's yeah, exactly. You're like, "Oh, look at this, a wrench or something," or like, "Oh, new wallet." Like, I didn't order this. I mean, you'd go to your Amazon, you wouldn't immediately just start scanning whatever piece of paper was in that box. You'd go to your account. At least that's what my reaction would be.
AAF, American Ammo and Firearms, is out there. If you want to be clued in on ongoing deals and stuff, check out his channel. He's always on top of everything. But yeah, even if I get a phone call like from the bank, or an email from the bank, I will call the bank number. I won't respond to the email. I'm very cautious about that kind of stuff. If I don't know what it is, I'm not going to respond to it. Oh, I got those emails you get about people saying, "Oh, your content is great and I can help you grow your channel," kind of emails and stuff. I got one. Well, I've gotten a couple from the same person where they included a short video of them flipping through my YouTube page. I haven't clicked on the video because I don't trust.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you know? Where'd you see that video? But I see what you're saying. Like, they're giving you what looks like a thumbnail of.
Yeah, when I look at the email, it shows a preview of the video, but I have not clicked on the video, and I wouldn't click on attachments or anything.
But that is something that, if you weren't thinking, would lead someone to click on. That's devious. Is that the right word?
X Bowman said, "I'm thinking about getting a slug barrel for my Mossberg 500. What's your opinion on slug barrels?" I say do it. I don't have an opinion on slug barrels, but do it.
Slug barrel meaning like a barrel with a sight on it, because sometimes slug barrels are smooth and just have a like a iron sight looking thing on the top instead of a bead, so that you can be more accurate. But then, or the slug barrel meaning threaded barrel, because threaded barrels I'm not a fan of, just because most slugs are already threaded. You don't need threading anymore. Now, when you're throwing your ball bearings, I don't know what the deal is there. Like, do you need a threaded, or would a threaded barrel be better for when you're shooting ball bearings?
It probably would be better. I'll end up using a smooth bore.
Or you're not going to, or wait, you're going to have it inside of a wad. So the wad is going to interface. So
Yeah.
I guess, but I think, it would probably be better. Just, you would think, to have a thread. But I usually say don't bother with the threaded barrel unless you're really planning on shooting a lot of slugs.
The goddamn bacon is out there.
By the way, in a central time zone, welcome to daylight saving time.
Oh, is that today? You people are all doing
is.
your clock dances.
It is. It went from 1:59 to 3 o'clock.
Yeah, this show started late.
Now I'm on Pacific time again, I guess.
Well, in 2 hours you will be.
Or it was either an hour ago or it'll be in 2 hours. I'll be an hour off than I was a minute ago.
Gary, Wood said Gary and Foss need to smoke a bowl if they're watching sprinklers. No, I'm okay. Thanks for the suggestion. My chemical imbalance is all natural.
When you're in a state where it's legal, I'm assuming you just walk along and like clouds of marijuana will just be floating along. So you could just be minding your business and a cloud of marijuana will envelop you. You'll become.
Yeah, I need to drive across the state line over to Missouri and see, because it's legal over there. So
My chemical
It did.
imbalance sounds like an emo band from the early 2000s.
When it was legalized, you did smell it when you were out and about a lot more. It's kind of tapered off.
Driving around Vegas, like you definitely know that it's whatever legal there. I don't know. I'm assuming it's recreationally legal there because you smell it all the time. I mean, like in regular neighborhoods, not like just on the strip or whatever.
well, you can also tell in Vegas, because as soon as you get anywhere near the town, they have these huge billboards advertising the dispensaries in town.
Yeah, very good point.
Wood said in Olympia, 1,000%. Yeah. Or Fremont. It would be, when I was driving around, you could smell it coming from another car. And it's like, oh shit, now my car smells like weed. Hope
You're
I
all
don't get-
worried, but then you look over and the other car is a police car. Have you seen the one where there's like it's more of a skit, I think. They just put it on the socials, but it's like a cop pulling a guy over and he's like, "Do you have marijuana in the car?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Let me see that marijuana." And then he ends up throwing it on the ground or something. Then he goes, "This is better marijuana," or whatever. Like, you're in California now.
I have not seen that one.
And I'm summarizing it poorly, but it's something to that effect.
AAF said, I think 90% of the world smokes and lies about it.
That was
And
sort of a
probably-
question on barbecue shows, like, did the marijuana stuff change because that many people smoke and just voted because of their self-interest? Or is it that many people smoke and the people that vote, you'd have to, what is that, like the 6 degrees of separation? It's probably like 2 degrees, right? Like, I've never met anybody that's ever smoked marijuana, but I know that I know people that have, right? Like, you don't have to be that far away to, or you don't have to actually do marijuana to know that it's not a big threat like they would try to tell you in Reefer Madness. So, can we apply that to guns, or like, how do we apply that to guns, I guess is the question, assuming that's the case.
Well, I think there,
Because we don't get 90% of people shoot guns, but 90% of people know somebody who shoots guns. I guess that would summarize it.
I can 100% guarantee you that you have met someone who has smoked marijuana.
I know. I just like saying that because people think like,
well, it is. It is funny to me because when the issue of marijuana comes up, and then you get people who don't like it, which is that's fine. That they don't realize, like on the YouTube side, that people they watch, that I know they watch, that either do or have, or that used to, that smoke marijuana. They don't know. Because there have been over the years, there have been people which I was surprised that either currently do or in their past had.
Well, now, if you do the devil's lettuce, you don't need to have guns, and you just need to go direct with jail.
Yeah, and kind of in the side chat there, Gary had said he doesn't want to, not interested in smoking, but there's edibles and gummies, and
That's what I'm saying. I gave up smoking cigarettes many, many years ago. I don't really want to smoke anything of any sort, but that doesn't mean there's plenty of other methods.
Why isn't there like marijuana beer and marijuana booze? Is that like something across the streams or something?
Pretty sure it exists. You can get just about everything else.
Okay, so it's not prohibited. I just haven't heard of it or whatever. I thought maybe that
If
they were like, it's legal, but you can't be this.
If the product became more legal, there would be many different distribution methods, in foods, stuff like that. So,
Oh, for sure.
Oh, that reminds me of the other thing I was going to mention about barbecues chat. Because G-Webs had asked if it's legal, federally legal, what are the cigarettes company going to do? Well, back in the 80s, the anti-drug commercials were funded by the cigarette companies. And the kind of backdoor deal was, if it ever becomes legal, then you guys can sell it if you fund these anti-drug commercials now.
Oh, I hadn't heard of that. Is that you're saying that's from the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I'm just assuming that that's not a thing because you never hear of like Marlboro weed and Camel weed. I was saying in barbecues that like I think those particular companies knew that tobacco was failing and they all bought food and just don't care about this anymore. Unless I don't know what the scale is, but I don't think, is marijuana bigger than cigarettes? If they walked away from cigarettes, I just don't see marijuana being big enough for them to run back to something that just had that much liability because they own food now. RJR and Nabisco, you know what I mean? They don't care about tobacco anymore.
I think they probably would dabble in it, just because
if it didn't bother them or their money, if it's money, then they're going to take money on the table. I just think if it's at all like sticky, like cigarettes were for them, like they've experienced that before, so I could see them leaving it on the table for somebody else. But I don't know.
Definitely, it's like illegal. My oldest kid is 20, but when he was little, cigarette usage had already dropped enough where to him only old people smoked, because that's all he ever saw was older people smoking. They're really good friends and neighbors were old retired couple, and they smoked. That's where he mainly saw people smoking. But to him, 15 years ago, it was only smoking was an old people thing. Young people didn't do it. X-Bowman said in Vegas, it's been to a bar that makes weed cocktails.
Interesting.
There is.
Because I remember listening to something on NPR. Like I leave NPR on in my car, so it wasn't like I was listening, but I remember hearing something on NPR, and in part of their coverage or like interviewing people, the person said something kind of like that. Like, I'm never going to smoke marijuana, but if they put it in like beer, I would order that to see what it's like or whatever. But not like whatever. They just don't have any interest in smoking anything because of their, interest in not messing with their lungs, not messing with their health. But they don't have the problem with being high on the marijuana.
I heard that it might have been on Barbecues Chat. I don't know if you brought it up, where federally, like the THC products that are allowed, they're not going to allow them anymore. They're rolling back.
I did not bring that up.
I forget where I heard that. I'm not sure. So there's a lot of products which
we were talking about that. Was it off air? Well, we were talking about the hemp part was reclassified or rescheduled, or I don't know what they call that, but the government said you can't sell the gummies made out of hemp anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't remember how fast that takes effect, but that affects all the states that aren't currently telling the federal government. What would you say? Like ignoring the federal government, I guess. Like all those states, you could, I guess, comply with the law by buying stuff made out of hemp, which still had whatever active ingredients in it. It just was made out of a different plant. They just had to use a ton of hemp instead of 5 ounces of hemp to get the same uh, whatever chemicals. But anyway, they said that's a loophole, so get rid of it, and that'll change people that were buying the gummies mail order or something like that without regulations,
Yeah,
fines or whatever.
there were gummies that you could order legally, but that would get you high.
Right.
I don't know.
Because they were made out of hemp, right? Hemp is like the plant
Yeah.
that you make fibers and paper and clothes out of. Well, it does have a little bit of marijuana in it, but if you would need like a ton of it to get that amount, that like if you grew marijuana, you'd have it in like a handful, but you're going to need like a bushel of it of hemp. So they were like, screw it, we can make hemp, and hemp. It's not like when we squeeze the marijuana out of it, it's useless. We still can make paper and jeans and stuff out of it. So let's just squeeze all the stuff out of it and make gummies also. So basically, it just took this industry, because the thing is, that's my favorite thing about the hemp or marijuana is the hemp. Like that's the worst thing, is because whenever you read the stuff, the Emperor Wears No Clothes, its main focus was that DuPont, because of nylon, said we don't want natural fibers anymore. Natural fibers are bad, so if you can make them illegal, that's even better. And so there was like that industrial effort to, or at least industrial satisfaction that marijuana went illegal because they removed hemp. And that always bothered me because I don't know, have you ever worn like a bamboo fabric? Like it's just a better fabric, or it's a different fabric than cotton. It has different properties. So whenever I've owned some shirts and pants and things like denim or marijuana, whatever, hemp fabric is very much like denim, but it's softer. So it's like soft like denim, but it's heavy like canvas, or strong like canvas. So I always thought it was a cool material, and just thought it was, like Canada and places were able to make hemp because they never had laws against it. And all the hemp string and hemp clothing that you see is like made in Canada and India and stuff. And I was always bothered because we're sending industry out of the country, and we've destroyed agriculture a long time ago, or at least we've ignored agriculture, messed with agriculture. And it sounds like marijuana is the kind of plant that can grow 3 or 4 times in a year in places that other crops have either devastated or like, depleted maybe the element that they need to work well. So it turns into one of those crops that you can cycle into a broader like agricultural strategy or whatever, except that it's whatever legally not possible. And that always bothered me. And I thought, oh, if they're going to make it medically and recreationally legal, then maybe they'll lay off on the hemp part of it. And then they like I say, they figured out like, oh shit, if we take, if we have a bushel of, or a whatever truckload probably of hemp, we can squeeze it real quick before we turn it into like pants or paper and make them into gummies. And now they told them, hey, you can't do that anymore. I don't think it's really going to bother them as much as, it's a revenue source being lost, because they're still going to make all that other stuff. But I see it as like it's like tying our hands when we don't need to. It's like unnecessarily. Why let Canada continue to like cover that market in a time when like green and shit is so cool? And plus, I won't get into carbon nanotubulars, but if you get into like carbon nanotubulars, I've heard that hemp is a really good source of those, because you can grow like a 25-foot plant pretty easily if you just let it turn into hemp and grow. It's like bamboo, it grows up.
DJ said it takes effect later this year. Woods said my 87-year-old mom uses CBD and the gummies, THC gummies. X Adam 1 never smoked anything.
Can you imagine if his 7-year-old mom was given full control of a speeding train and she was on gummies? That's my concern.
X Adam 1 never smoked anything and never drank alcohol. No desire to either.
I've never smoked anything either. I will have alcohol every now and then. But when I say every now and then, I mean it's like once or twice a year, and it's a drink or two.
You never even smoked a brisket? I beg to differ.
That is true. They're really hard to get lit, though. I kind of gave up.
I don't know if the rumors are true. He might have smoked a pole or two. I don't know. Oh.
Hey, that was supposed to be a secret. I'm gonna say it's no different than when Rob D admitted to having that tube steak.
I used to smoke for a while, and I quit. What was it? I can tell you, October 2005. I think it was 2005. And I get the urge now and again still smoke because smoking is cool. But I had made the decision to quit. It was just before my first kid was born, and decided that I should quit. And took a couple tries, so I would quit and then unquit, and then finally just drew a line and said, nope, that's it. And geez, I mostly stopped drinking 20 or so years ago. It was just kind of I was done. Didn't feel like doing it anymore, so I stopped. Will, if I'm out and somebody says I will buy you a beer here, I'll drink that beer just to be sociable. But
what if they say here's a marijuana beer?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they're only sociable to a point.
What about a fentanyl beer?
If you drank a marijuana beer, how long do you think you'd be fucked up for?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just infusing marijuana flavor. Is it infusing marijuana properties? I don't know.
Oh, I see. But the thing is, it doesn't really matter because it's up to the brand, right? They might go, yeah, we only infuse it for the taste. And then other places are like, you can't even taste it. We just get you high.
Do we want to do bracket tonight?
It's a drug bracket.
10
ways to vape marijuana.
Did anybody break it to Woods that Mossberg 500 lost to the High Point in the firearm most likely to be owned by a stoner?
He went early so that intentionally he wouldn't have to go through the emotional trauma of that kind of situation.
I think that bracket was deeply flawed. There's no way that should happen.
My favorite part about that bracket is it wasn't a music bracket.
He said he saw. Oh,
I haven't checked my email for complaints. That's why I wanted to see if he saw it or not.
So let me share that. Go to the Winders. This is a bracket of action stars, the best action star that's a bad actor, that is not good at acting. And this does not mean I don't like them. I don't like their movies. It's just, realistically, they're not a good actor. But there's still lots of even shitty movies that I like just because I like them. We've got Gal Gadot, who is very pretty, but not a good actor. She's a model. Burt Reynolds, Very personable, but not really a good actor.
I always thought he was like an ass. I don't think I'd want to hang out with him ever.
Chuck Norris, a badass, but not a good actor. Nicolas Cage, and if Cage has good writing and the right role, he can act well, but for the most part, he's not. He's kind of a over the top.
He's a method actor.
Charlie Sheen. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Dolph Lundgren. Bruce Lee.
All right, now I'm pissed.
He's not. He was not a good actor. He was a good martial artist. Jackie Chan.
Oh my gosh.
Brigitte Nielsen. Sonny Chiba.
Oh my God. Come on.
No, you cannot tell me he's a good actor. He did get better in his older age.
This is just language, whatever.
No,
That's
I've
all.
seen lots of Japanese movies.
This
He's
is
not a good actor.
this is culture shock.
I have probably seen tenfold more Japanese movies than you have. I've seen them in Japan. I've seen Japanese television dramas. Sonny Chiba is not a good actor. I like him. I like his movies. Not a good actor. Sylvester Stallone, outside of he did very well in Rambo. The first half of Rambo, the second half is acting.
You mean First Blood?
First Blood, sorry. First Blood,
That was
and
tough, but yeah.
he was very good in God, what was that one with where he
There's
played
a lot
the
of movies where he's good. Copland. Have you seen Copland?
Copland? The Copland was the other one I was going to say. He was
And I was
very
gonna say,
good in
he's got
Copland.
way better. Like he is a good actor. He just doesn't bother. I think in a lot of his movies.
Demolition Man wasn't that bad.
But his acting was not good.
But he has gotten better. I mean, I agree with you. Like he started out as not an actor, like good, and same with Schwarzenegger. But I think they've gotten better. And they,
A lot of these guys have in the older age got better.
or at least they understand it, right? Like Copland shows you that, like if he wanted to, he probably could have been. It was just that he.
Well, he was a good writer. He won an Oscar.
Have you guys seen
Right.
Copland at all? You guys don't watch movies enough probably to see that one.
Nope.
And it wasn't like I knew about it. I think I was going to watch it because it was a Sylvester Stallone movie, but then I was like, oh wow, like I didn't know what I was about to watch. It's a drama. It's not a drama, but it's like more of a drama than any other movie he's ever been in. I guess it's more of a mystery, right? Like a crime mystery or something.
Yeah,
It's not
crime
action.
drama.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I don't think there's hardly even gunshots in it. It's more of like he's acting for sure. Like it's an acting movie.
Like I said, it doesn't mean I don't like the like the actor or like the movies. It's just
My
they're
example
not-
for Schwarzenegger would be that SWAT one he's in, where he's like a narcotics cop, like squad leader or something, and they're like this like undercover squad or something of drugs, and that's a good one.
Jason Statham.
Oh, I haven't seen Tulsa King. Have you seen that? Oh, see, I'm definitely against this. I think he's a good actor.
He's stiff. I've
He's
only
stiff,
seen clips. I mean, I did like him in Lock, Stock. His first two movies I
Oh,
liked.
what did they say? What Barbecue was saying, like where they're the same actor all the time. Charles Bronson. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of range, but with if it's that character, he does it good.
I'm not saying he's a child murderer. Just saying not a great actor. I liked Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch. I think his first two movies. At least his starring roles.
You're gonna.
I
put
haven't
Van
seen
Damme.
anything else.
I know Van Damme's gonna be on here because you hate him too.
Oh yeah, Steven Seagal.
Oh, thank God. I was wondering. I was starting to worry.
This is horrible.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Goddamn Van
Mark
Damme.
Wahlberg.
Mark.
Yeah, that's the last one.
So, Goddamn Bacon is saying about Tulsa King. I haven't seen that because I don't like watching TV shows if I can help it. But I'm curious about that one. If it's good, I would watch it. But have anybody seen that one?
I've
not.
seen clips on the YouTubes, and that's it.
Any good or no?
It looks okay, but he's had so much plastic surgery. I have trouble looking at him.
Okay, that's enough. I understand that. Yeah. He had Bruce Campbell on here.
No, Bruce Campbell does not go on this one.
Oh, I thought you did have him on there.
No. I love Bruce Campbell.
Oh,
Not-
please. He's a good actor.
Not personally.
Come on.
I'm not judging.
What again? There's only 16 spots because I had Sho Kasugi on here.
He did a full
I
32.
know it pissed you off, but not a great actor.
I
Great
know
martial
who Sho-
artist, and a interesting story about his life. He started martial arts because he was kind of a sickly kid, and he didn't do ninjutsu, but got into like doing stunt work, and then did the first ninja movie, and then took over the role from the white dude. So, are there any questions? Yeah, there's a little bit
So
bigger
many.
there.
But for the
Can we
sake-
add Billy Ray Cyrus to this?
No, and I left off any of the, like athletes that started acting just because, like Mr. T. Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
But now, strictly
any of the
speaking,
wrestlers.
Schwarzenegger was known as a bodybuilder before he ever became an actor.
He was already a millionaire before he became an actor.
Yes.
Yeah, but to me, there's a difference between like Schwarzenegger or
Roddy Piper.
Goldberg.
Oh god.
No. And it's my bracket, so I make the rules. So that's the way it goes. You don't like it, make your own bracket.
There's a bunch of would you have put Roddy Piper in here?
No,
Hulk Hogan.
there's not enough. It just, when I think of action heroes, I don't think of Piper. I did like They Live.
This was the one
I
movie.
liked, as bad as it is, Hell Comes to Frogtown. But to me, he's not an actor. He's a wrestler.
Yeah, I got you.
Hold the phone. Action movie. Suburban Commando. Hulk Hogan. Come on.
No, he's a wrestler.
I was
Like,
frozen
well-known
today.
actor that comes to mind when you think of the genre.
So that's what we're going with, like it or not. Our first matchup is Steven Seagal, Sonny Chiba. And
Real quick, are we voting on which is the worst out of these two?
no, who is the?
The best worst actor?
We're going best of
Okay.
the worst actors.
Okay.
Okay, so worst actor got him here, but now we're voting on the best of them.
Yeah. Woods is protesting out there. Don't carry a gun. You can protest, just don't carry a gun.
Yeah, so he's double protesting, so he should put all of his guns away, I feel like.
You should protest unpeacefully.
So G-Webs, Steven Seagal, Sonny Chiba.
I'm initially protesting the entire bracket. And then I'll say that this is a pretty good matchup because I agree these are probably about the same level. But I've only seen Galgo and the other one, so it's not like I've seen a ton of Sonny Chiba. I think Seagal is good. So Seagal, even though I like Galgo.
Did you see Karate Fighter?
Is that
There
the
were
other thing that there's like a series and then Galgo?
Yeah, there were three. There were three of the Karate Fighters.
And I seen those on VHS tape like as a kid, so I can't. I mean, I don't remember. I thought it was something like karate. Well, one of the video games made off of it or something? Or am I crazy?
Well, Galago 13.
Well, no, but I thought that karate thing didn't have anything to do with the an origin of one of the video games. But anyway,
No, the movie was loosely based on a real guy.
but anyway, no, I did see it, but it'd be interesting. I'd try to search it out. I don't think that's the kind of stuff they have on YouTube. That would be awesome.
No, they, at least last time I looked, they didn't. You can find clips, but nobody had any full movies. Gizzard, Steven Seagal, Sonny Chiba.
Well, Seagal's the only one of the two I've ever heard of, so he's getting my vote.
Did you see Kill Bill?
Yes, I did.
He was the sword maker that they talked about.
Okay.
Hanzo.
Oh, really? That's
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Golgo. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's when he was acting well. But that's older, he was his older age.
But he's like is that a Hong Kong movie? It's like an old 50s, like 60s movie where he's like a spy, I guess. And there's like 3 of them. So he's sort of like a James Bond from like a Hong Kong angle. If that's the Golgo 13 or whatever. Or he's like
He's an assassin. He uses an M16 with a scope.
And the M16 comes apart in the most absurd fashion. Like they had a toy and they took it apart. So like the stock comes off, and then like the handguard comes off, and then like the barrel from like this front sight post comes off, and then the handguard comes off. That's the best, one of the best parts about it. And then of course there's the sight. Was there a suppressor? I don't think there was a suppressor. There might have been. But he also shot standing in a boat like 30 stories up or something from like the water. It was excellent.
Barbecue.
You see the helicopter there? They call that a skippy. I have to go with Seagal because I don't know who Sonny Chiba is. And no, I have not seen Kill Bill.
Oh, snap.
He was in something else more recent, and I don't remember what it was. If he was in John Wick or not. One of those.
Haven't seen John Wick. Any of them.
Well,
Serious?
I'll give Sonny
Wow.
I'll give Sonny Chiba a vote just to give him a vote.
You didn't put Keanu Reeves into here. Exactly, he's a good actor.
No, he was one that I debated, but
You could almost debate. I mean, he's been an action hero, but he's also done a lot of movies that weren't action, I think.
My Private Idaho.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. So now we've got Jackie Chan, Gal Gadot. G-Webs.
Oh, Jackie Chan. Definitely, if we're going better. He shouldn't even be on this list. He's a good actor.
He is not a good.
Plus, he's able to span acting in a language he doesn't even. Has he ever been fluent in English? He just says English words, right? Like he never.
He probably is now.
Yeah, I would say, like, I don't want to say he's never learned English, but in the beginning, right, he was just being told, like, say marshmallow. He didn't know what he was saying.
So that's the same as like Jet Li. He didn't speak any English,
right?
When he was in Lethal Weapon.
Not Seagal, but that Rutger Hauer, probably, like some of them guys, I'm sure were the same way, except with like Hungarian or wherever they came from.
Wood said Keanu is my favorite Canadian. He won the favorite the best Canadian bracket. We did a while back. Gizzard, Jackie Chan, Gal Gadot.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan.
I don't know if I've seen her in anything except Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I don't know what all she's done. Barbecue. I was just trying to get some chicks on there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who the chick is, but Jackie Chan is incredible. So I'm going with Jackie Chan.
I think
he has potential to win this whole thing.
Cynthia Rothrock, but she didn't really do much acting.
She was. I thought about it, but no. There were some that I left off just because nobody's going to know who they are.
That's true too. Yeah. I'm just
And
reading
she was
for
a
a girl.
terrible actress. I guess I'll go Jackie Chan too. I've always loved Jackie Chan movies. Don't like that he's a Chi-Com.
Oh, and then thanks for the suggestion on that. What is it called? Iron. No. What was that movie with him, Schwarzenegger? Iron Mask.
Oh,
It's a weird
Yeah.
movie, but it's interesting. I like Hong Kong movies because they spend all kinds of money on them, or else they have really good CGI or both. Because there's a lot of stuff going on in that movie. And I don't know, it's sort of like watching a superhero movie. It's sort of like, is this like actual, what am I trying to say, like old fairy tales or anything? Or like, is this just totally made up? But it's like different, it has like elements of stuff from China that I don't know if it's like a nod to traditional China stuff or if they're just making it up. But I thought it was there was a lot going on in that movie. It's the kind of movie
yeah.
you could watch it twice and enjoy it, I think.
I came across a clip of the guys in the armor that come in later near the
Mhm.
end of the movie. And those guys are badass. And so I went and sought out the movie. And it turns out that it's a sequel to another movie, which I posted in your Discord.
Oh, I got the other way around. I thought you said there was a sequel to it. Now I'm definitely
No,
going to
no, no. It is the sequel. The first one is a better movie, but the second one is more fun.
Okay, then I'm definitely. Well, I thought it was just a good movie too. Like there's a lot going on.
And it's different than that second one. So now we've got Bruce Lee, Van Damme, G-Webs.
Best is Bruce Lee, but I do like Van Damme, especially that when you watch the brand new one or whatever, where he's secret agent and he's also Van Damme. Like that's. super
I
cool.
haven't seen that. I've heard people say it's good.
It might not be the best acting, but it's like so outside the box and creative that I give him points for, he's legit. Like he's having fun with who he is and where he is in the world.
That's what I've heard. Gizzard.
I'm gonna go with Van Damme.
Van Damme. Barbecue.
Goddamn Van Damme. I'm going Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. Wood said Lee because he's a husky.
I thought he was water.
Well, no, when he came to the U.S., he came to Seattle and he went to the UW.
Oh,
In the movie Dragon, they put him in San Francisco, but he came to Washington. Oh, I'm gonna go Bruce Lee. Vulcan Rebel said Van Damme gets funnier every time you watch him.
And I haven't watched the new ones, whatever that new movie is, where like all the old action heroes get together and they're all in the same movie together.
Untouchables?
Something like that.
Killable? What? Unsomethingable? I saw the first one. It was okay.
I guess I technically did see the first one. I just don't remember it. But it gave me the impression that they're all cool because, you know what I mean? Just to get together and make a couple of bucks off of all that and have fun. And look, it doesn't, I never heard anything like any of them are assholes or anything. So it just seems like they're having fun with it.
That's what Stallone basically was doing. He wanted to make a movie where he could get together with all his friends and all the old timers and do a movie.
And then like play with it, right? Like with the whole like way that we have so many movies like this and shit.
Expendables. Wood said Expendables. So now we've got Charlie Sheen, Dolph Lundgren. G-Webs.
I'm going to vote against Charlie Sheen just out of principle, I guess.
Gizzard.
I must break you.
Dolph. And Dolph he's a legitimate badass. He was a European karate champion,
I gotta change my vote.
Kyokushinkai. And he was, is it a chemical engineer?
Yeah, he had like a legit job, right? And he decided to
Yeah.
try acting. I'm gonna
He,
change my vote.
he became a model, became a bodyguard, and then started acting.
I'm gonna officially change my vote. All right, I'm gonna officially change my vote. I forgot about Red Dawn.
There you go on Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, I can't vote against Red Dawn.
Charlie Sheen was kind of, I wasn't sure to put him on this list, but then I thought back to Navy SEALs.
Yeah, he's not a great actor or nothing, but he's like, he'll not give a shit and just take a paycheck and not be good in that role. You know what I mean? Like but he can be, he's been an actor for too long to not understand acting and be able to be good, I guess.
Barbecue.
Wild Thing, I Think I Love You. But I want to know for sure. Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. Oh, I guess I'll have to go Charlie Sheen. I want to go Longren just because I also did Kyokushinkai. But, to be honest, Charlie Sheen is a better actor. So now we've got Jason Statham against Nicolas Cage. Kentucky Rimfire Justin is out there. Good evening.
It's actually a pretty good matchup. They both have a shit ton of movies, and they're all like, not that different from each other, and they're pretty much all about the same level. I'm gonna give it to Cage though, just he's got way more range, and he's also what his dad or some family member is somebody, so he grew up with acting. And I'll give it to him. He's been in enough good movies.
Ozzy was asking Wesley Snipes didn't make the list. No, I would put him at the top of the bad actors. He's a okay actor.
What about the movie he did where he's the security guard for the Japanese company or something? Or is he the cop who's working with Sean Connery? Isn't that him in that movie? I'm gonna go look it up.
I'm not sure because I liked him in Demolition Man. He was good as Blade. I liked him in New Jack City. Gizzard, Jason Statham or Nicolas Cage?
Gotta go with Cage.
Cage. Wood said he truly hates Cage.
Just think of some of the glorious roles that Nick Cage has been in, like Face Off, for example, or Con Air, great movies like that, or even Ghost Rider.
My favorite Nicolas Cage movie, Raising Arizona.
Oh yeah, that is a good movie.
Yep.
So right after Passenger 57, White Man Can't Jump.
White Man Can't. He was good in that too.
Right before Demolition,
though he couldn't play basketball.
Woody Harrelson was awesome.
Was a movie called Rising Sun with him and Sean Connery, where there's like a Japanese high-rise, business, and a murder happens upstairs, and he's the cop, and Sean Connery is like the samurai security officer for the Japanese company. You never seen this one?
It sounds familiar. Are there motorcycles in that one?
Pretty sure they're like have to drive motorcycles for some reason because there's like a Japanese motorcycle gang.
I vaguely remember that. But if you say Rising Sun, I will think of the Western with oh god, I can't think of their two names. The Japanese that played all the samurai. And god damn it. What's his name? Hang on. Now I'm gonna have to look this up.
By the way, we
Saying it's another movie called Rising Sun, though.
yeah.
We forgot about Nicolas Cage's most important documentaries, American Treasure, or National Treasure, whatever the heck it was.
I did. It was not a good movie, but I did like that. Oh, Red Sun. It wasn't Rising Sun. It's Red Sun, because it's Toshiro Mifune and Charles Bronson. And there's a sword that's stolen. So Mifune comes to the West to.
Oh, that movie's
find
great.
the
You don't
sword.
like that movie, or you do like that movie?
No, I do like that.
Yeah.
When you said Rising Sun, I thought of Red Sun.
Okay, now I got you. Yeah, I forgot about that. It was a really good movie, actually. I like that one. It's a good, like, crossover movie. It's like a samurai movie and a Western mixed together.
Yeah. So sorry, barbecue. Are you going Nicolas Cage or Statham?
Cameron Poe. If you don't watch Con Air, you won't realize that was Nicolas Cage's character.
I think I'm going to go Nicolas Cage also. So now Chuck Norris against Brigitte Nielsen.
Oh,
G-Webs.
Lone Wolf
It's
McQuaid.
not a fair matchup.
Yeah, Lone Wolf McQuaid.
Gizzard.
Norris.
Barbecue. Are you going Norris too?
You know how I stay young? With Total Gym.
Yeah, I'm gonna also. So, well, that's good. Wood said Norris. I debated on leaving him off just because he's a heavyweight, but I wasn't sure. Because we got Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan in here too. So now Mark Wahlberg against Sylvester Stallone. G-Webs.
I can handle Marky Mark, but Sylvester Stallone's got more range. He's not my favorite actor, but he's definitely can. Again, he can do Copland and shit like that when he wants to.
Gizzard.
There's other movies that these guys have been in. Their dramas. I just don't watch their drama movies, so I just happened to watch Copland because I thought it was going to be an action movie, and it wasn't.
Which one are you going, Gizzard? Wahlberg or Stallone? Stallone. Barbecue.
This is tough because you've got Rambo versus Shooter. And I really liked Shooter. I feel like Stallone's more of a method actor. I'm going to go with Marky Mark.
Yeah. Stallone could pull one out of his ass every now and again. So he's a wild card on that. But I think I'm going to go with Wahlberg. I'm not a Wahlberg fan. So we'll have to put up a poll. This is going to go to the chat. Let me get a poll going. As soon as I find where I moved my chat to. Start a poll. So choose. And we'll go Wahlberg. Oops. Wahlberg and Stallone. So the poll is up. So go ahead and give her a vote. We'll give it just a little bit here to collect up some votes. Yeah, I was surprised by Copland. I don't remember why I watched it, but I really liked it because you've got also De Niro and who's the other big name in it?
Yeah, it's one of those movies where they threw a pile of like actors at it. They must have all wanted to be in it, or because it wasn't like a money thing. They must all like the story or something. So it was a bunch of
Because it's got Ray.
Yep.
Romano?
A lot of the people that do like gangster movies and cop movies. And it was slow.
Ray Liotta.
It was like a movie about how all these cops live in a neighborhood in like New Jersey, but they are all cops in New York or something, right? And they're like corruption or something. And I forget.
Yeah, the thing was
a cop for their neighborhood. They're all cops, and they go home, and he's the cop where they live, and they all treat him like shit or something.
Yeah. Then there's one cop shoots a couple guys on the road because he thought they were pointing a gun at them, and it turned out there wasn't a gun. And then so kind of all the mystery that goes on with that. I won't give the spoiler away, but it is a really good movie.
Stallone's kind of like Columbo, if I'm remembering it right. Not 100%, but like he plays it like, like, hey, I'm just minding my business, but I'm also solving the crime over here.
So we'll go ahead and end the poll, and Wahlberg is going to move on. I'll give that 3. There we go. Now we've got Schwarzenegger against Burt Reynolds. G-Webs.
I've never liked Burt Reynolds, so Schwarzenegger, and I like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I'm voting for the Terminator.
Gizzard.
Yeah, I gotta go with Arnold here.
Arnold. Barbecue.
Arnold or who?
Burt Reynolds.
Oh yeah, that's right. I had to go with Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds. Oh. I don't know. This is tough. I think I'm going to go Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I don't know. That one is kind of tough. Kentucky Rimfire. Said Burt.
Tough because you like them equally, or tough because you dislike them equally?
Well, they're bad in different ways. Burt Reynolds is kind of like the cool dude that lives next door. He's kind of the cool dude that lives next door, but you don't really want to go to his house.
I was gonna say, like, I don't think I'd ever want to hang out with Burt Reynolds. He seems like a dick, and like he'd be the guy that would like pick on somebody or just like be a dick. Where Arnold Schwarzenegger sounds like, he'd just have nothing but interesting stories, and he'd be like positive and like, yeah, you should do that. Go do that.
So I think I'll stick with Schwarzenegger. Wood said Arnold learns to act. True Lies with Jamie Lee Curtis. That was I really like True Lies.
Yeah,
and that's probably God. Who's the guy that played his partner in that?
Oh yeah, the guy from
comedian.
Danny
Speed.
DeVito.
No, he was married to Roseanne for a short while.
It's
Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold. That's the only thing I've seen Tom Arnold in that I liked was True Lies.
Oh, that's the only thing I didn't like about that movie is him.
I thought he was okay in that one. Kentucky Rimfire said Smoking the Bandit. That's one of the greatest movies ever made. Mr. Bob said actors are basically liars, and Arnold was a politician, and they are about the biggest liars of all, maybe tied with lawyers.
We get
And
home and
agents.
remind me to punch your mama in the mouth.
The goddamn bacon said I'm going with not the screw your freedoms guy. And Kentucky Rimfire said Arnold is too California for me. California. And now we've got Steven Seagal, Jackie Chan.
I'm
Gee
pretty
whiz.
sure Arnold Schwarzenegger was like, screw your freedoms, like stay home if you don't want to wear a mask or like if you don't want to have a shot or whatever. He was one of them people, right?
Yeah, but like he just said the thing one time and say like he's done better since then.
So, G Webs, you going Steven Seagal or Jackie Chan?
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan.
I like Seagal and everything, but Jackie Chan puts in about 6K or 6X more effort.
He does. He has
And
maximum
Seagal
effort.
has a lot of effort. I mean, people don't like Seagal, but try to say Seagal hasn't made a lot of movies. Like, he knows he's definitely in it. And Jackie Chan's just run circles around most of the people on this list. Like literally, like he could go in a silo and run circles and like run up the silo and shit.
There's somebody made a spoof of Seagal, and it's Seagal in basically a rolling office chair doing his movie. So he's rolling around in his little office chair,
That's because
shooting guns.
I'm thinking, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's the perfect AI for this. And it's like two dudes, like before a match, like two dudes will come up and they'll smack their boxing gloves or like they'll smack their fists. And whenever they're showing, what do they call it? Like matching up or something. And there's an AI where it's all these dudes, like pairing off, and it kind of just keeps panning to the right, and it pans to the right, and it's them in their prime and them now or something like that. And I thought, or no, you know what it is? There's a couple of them. There's one where it'll be Sylvester Stallone sitting there in a chair, and then all these people walk up to him, and it's all his roles, right? All of his different characters. And then it'll be Arnold Schwarzenegger sitting in a chair, and then all his characters come up. And they did it with all the different people on this list. That would have been a good way to introduce all of them. And then they've done some where they're like different matches. And then I've seen ones where they've made different groups out of this into different superheroes. So like seeing an AI cast some of these different, like, people who've never played the Flash or Superman or something like in that role.
Gizzard, Seagal or Jackie Chan?
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan. Barbecue. Uh-oh. Did we lose him already?
Nope. Didn't realize I was muted. I said, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Apparently you couldn't hear them. Jan. Love Rush Hour.
I'm not a Chris Tucker fan.
Understandable.
I mean, I did like the movie, but yeah, I'll go Jackie Chan. Kentucky Rimfire said Jackie Chan. Wood said Jackie Chan. Oh, there we go. So now we've got Bruce Lee, Charlie Sheen, G Webs.
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. Gizzard.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. Barbecue.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. I will also go Charlie Sheen. Oops. Should be 3. I would rather watch a Bruce Lee movie, but Charlie Sheen was a better actor. Now we've got Nicolas Cage, Chuck Norris.
He just had more time to act. I'll go with Chuck Norris. Nicolas Cage is interesting, but I'd probably rather watch a Chuck Norris movie, especially the one with McQuaid.
Gizzard.
Cage.
Cage. Barbecue.
Well, if we are voting on best actor, you got to go with Nicolas Cage.
Cage. Kentucky Ripfire said Norris. Woods said Norris. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Cage is probably a better actor. Oh, I already put my vote in there. I'm not voting for their movies. I'm voting on their acting ability.
Yeah, it's true. Well, is Chuck Norris a bad actor, or does he only do one role ever, over and over and over and over again?
Well, I he's done 2 roles.
Watching him
Over-
age, he's definitely not proven that he's like super fluent or whatever. He's getting pretty rigid.
Because you've basically got, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, you've got Firewalkers and then everything else. Firewalkers was his response to being criticized for only doing karate movies.
I don't think I've ever seen Firewalker. What is that?
It's him and Gossett Jr.
Well, what's the
Lou
role?
Gossett Jr.
What's the movie?
I forget why they're down in like South America. And then there's some kind of South American spiritual bad guy.
It's like a Romancing the Stone type of thing.
It's
Like a Jungle
kind
movie.
of. Yeah. I like it. I saw it when I was a kid.
I can't remember if I ever watched it.
Kentucky Rimfire said, I met Chuck Norris, probably the most dangerous thing I've ever done. Wood said Norris. And he's triple protesting with Extra Gun. Ozzy said he liked Firewalker.
Where's the vote at? I interrupted. I don't know what we're at or where.
Cage took it. Cage knocked out Chuck Norris.
Have you seen the one where they have Chuck Norris being interviewed or whatever, and he says something like, "So this one time I got in a cage with a tiger, and you started hearing this hissing noise, and then the trainer said, 'Step back very quietly, and he won't hurt you.' And then the tiger did."
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, or something like that. But I thought that was kind of funny.
So now Mark Wahlberg against Schwarzenegger.
Me, Terminator.
Terminator.
I was just looking at Marky Mark's list of movies, and there's like a couple I like the Dex Pop one, but like he's in okay movies, but he's not.
The Other Guys is so good. Dude, what is with you and hot chicks?
Gizzard.
Arnold.
Barbecue.
A desk pop? No, Alan, that is not a real thing. Marky Mark.
I made it convincing or whatever.
I'm not sure.
They swayed me with their argument. They were so convincing.
Ozzy said Wahlberg, or sorry, there we go. I said Wahlberg. Ozzy's protesting. Kentucky Rimfire said Wahlberg. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go Wahlberg. So we're gonna have to put up a poll. Let me get the poll going. Start poll.
Did you guys see that one where Schwarzenegger's like the head of like a squad, I guess, of narcotics guys that are like undercover, and they're like a group of like 5 or 6 people that go in and raid drug houses and stuff, and it's sort of like an action drama about like who stole the drugs or who stole the money or whatever it is. I'm guessing you haven't seen that one. It's an action movie, but it's definitely an opportunity for the Arnold and the rest to be like actors, to be like a mystery, I guess, or like at least a thriller or something. It's like not an obvious whodunit type of thing, and then there's some action in it. Anyway, I thought that was from Conan to thing. The other thing I like about Schwarzenegger, once I heard an interview that was like a biography or something of him, when he did, I think it was Twins with what's his face. They turned Hollywood around because everybody told them that was a stupid idea. They weren't going to finance it, and they both had tons of money. Like Arnold started out as a millionaire, so like he's been super smart business wise the whole time. So he's like, screw it, I don't care. Like I'll just we want to make this movie anyway. So they funded it or like produced their own movie, and they made a shit ton on it. And then that changed, according to that thing I watched, that changed Hollywood. And then actors figured out that these actors with piles of money could make their own movies and not be dependent on Hollywood. And people like Tom Cruise and shit came out of it. Like people figured out, oh, look what Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito did. Let's do that from now on. And then, like I say, then it's history. Like a bunch of actors became just super rich. You know how rich like Reese Witherspoon is? Like some of these people are like really good business people. And Arnold Schwarzenegger like kind of started that, I think, at least from my understanding. So I think I'll give him credit for that. Like he played the game well.
Him and Stallone. Stallone was really good with his money too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's the thing. He inspired. It's like he's not a dick about it. Like Schwarzenegger was like, "Hey, everybody! Like, look what worked for us. Like, we made tons of money on this." And it's just like it's not even that big a movie. That's the thing. It's like as soon as you take out those massive middlemen, all of a sudden a movie can be super profitable for the people who actually made it.
Arnold bet on himself, and he did love himself. At the end of Pumping Iron, the movie about his
weightlifting,
days, the competition. He was going against Lou Ferrigno, and Arnold won. And he's sitting in the back of the bus with Ferrigno, and Ferrigno has a T-shirt on that. Arnold has a T-shirt on that says Arnie is number one, and he's smoking a cigar. And he tells Ferrigno, "Yeah, I'm going to come over to your house, and your sister's going to make me dinner."
Nice.
Ozzy asks, how bad was Arnold in the movie with the young girl from Who's the Boss?
That's
Commando. So we'll go ahead and end the poll, and Wahlberg is going to move on.
Clint Eastwood. I thought everybody thinks Clint Eastwood's a good actor.
He's another one of those. Well, I don't know. His early career was all kind of the same thing. Yep. All his westerns, he's the same character. I don't know. I thought about it, but I thought I didn't think I wanted to put him on the list. So now we've got Jackie Chan, Charlie Sheen, G-Webs.
Oh, you know who else you could have put on here? Death Wish guy, Charles Bronson. He's kind
Charles
of
Bronson.
doesn't have a lot of range. Oh, sorry, I forgot who we're dealing with right now.
I don't. Yeah.
Who was the two? Sorry.
Jackie Chan, Charlie Sheen.
I think I have to go with Charlie Sheen on this one.
Charlie Sheen.
I wanted not to. I tried not to, but I think I have to. Ethically, I have to.
Charles Bronson is really good in How the West Was Won, but he doesn't talk at all. And he was good in The Great Escape. Well, he is using a bad Russian accent, but Gizzard, Jackie Chan, Charlie Sheen.
The Rock would have been a good one on this list too, but
I think of him more as a wrestler.
He's been in a lot of movies by now, though.
He has.
Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
There's like one that's like a comedy about him being a criminal or something that's kind of, outside of his realm. He's just being funny or whatever.
Who?
The Rock. He's not the main
Oh.
character in the movie. He's like, like the third level down star in the movie because there's bigger stars in the movie. I can't remember what it is. And it was like a cable movie. It wasn't a big movie.
I was a fan of The Rock. For a while, but then he was everywhere doing everything, and I got tired of him. And he's kind of a jerk.
Yep.
Is he anti-gun? That's the big question. I've never heard him.
Yeah,
Oh, he is.
he is. He's anti-gun. He went in with Oprah Winfrey when the fires happened in Hawaii, where they said they're putting up this, millions of dollars, but they weren't putting up $1 million as they made it sound. They were raising money, and those millions of dollars were other people's money that
And-
donated.
And it wasn't like, here's $1 million. It was like, we'll give them, after fees and after taxes and after whatever, like, the remaining funds will go to, yeah, I know what you mean. I didn't know he was part of that.
Yeah. The barbecue.
Emilio Estevez.
Charlie Sheen. I will also go for Sheen. And so barbecue talk for just a second. I'll be right back.
So I'm talking for just a second, folks. Hopefully,
Hold on.
Demon Fox will return soon. But
Hold
in
on.
the meantime,
Rimfire had a quick thing. He said Keanu Reeves, but he was on the list. I think he got voted off already, though.
Keanu Reeves wasn't on this list.
Oh, he wasn't? I thought he was.
No, he was on the list for Best Canadian Actor.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
He actually won that one. So, in the meantime, if you're still awake and watching this or watching in replay, comment or, now live or in the past or future, how would that work? I guess it would be the future if you're watching in replay. But
You can say
comment
now, and whenever that
your
happens,
favorite
immediately.
caliber. Just comment your favorite caliber, folks, whether you're watching in replay or watching live. Let us know how much you hate 9mm, as we should not see that pop up here at all.
Would a favorite caliber be a factor of stopping power or simply diameter or capacity?
I guess it depends on the check.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right.
She and Woods brought up Outsiders. That's a good movie.
Yep.
I can't remember if I read the book or not. So now we've got Nicolas Cage, Mark Wahlberg, G-Webs.
Probably Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Gizzard.
Cage.
Cage. Barbecue.
Had to choose between my love of motorcycles with Ghost Rider or my love of firearms with Shooter. Based on who's the better actor,
Lord of
I'm
War.
going
You got
with
guns on.
Wahlberg.
You got guns on what's his face's side for sure. Have you seen Lord of War?
No.
So surprised. I was very surprised at how much I liked that movie.
How much you did like Lord of War?
I did. I really liked that movie.
Lord of War is like close to top 10. I mean, it might even be in my top 10 depending on my mood, but it's a significant movie, I think.
Is it as good as Weatherman?
I don't remember Weatherman. Weatherman is what's his name doing something in a lake.
It's Nicolas Cage. He walks around with a bow and arrow, apparently. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie either.
It's like some drama, and he's like somebody's dad or something, or he's like the cab driver. I only seen it once. It's some drama.
Kentucky Rimfire said Wahlberg. Wood said Marky Mark. Cage is 9mm of actors. Kentucky Rimfire said Cage 8mm was a decent movie. I didn't see that one.
The respect that he has a lot of movies and none of them have stopping power.
I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Nicolas Cage.
Excellent choice.
He's another one. You know, it's just under the right circumstances, he can. When he's perfect for the role, he does a great job. Does Nicolas Cage have range, or is it just he's been in so many movies that he's done every kind of movie?
Because he's a vampire.
That was
a
good movie too.
I don't think that he like has to. It's not like he's obligated like back in the old days where they would like be contracted to like a, what do they call them, like a movie studio. So it's like he's picking the movies. So I think the fact that he picks movies with such diversity shows that he has range, right? Because if he was a weak actor or a single ability actor, he would only pick single roles, right?
Well, I thought it
all over the place.
I thought it was his tax debt. That's why he was doing
like his motivation or whatever. But again, if his motive, like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Stallone, like they rarely get out of their like role. You know what I mean? And his role is weird for sure, but it's definitely like broad or whatever. And you're right. He makes so many movies. Does it say he's been in 118 movies according to The Thing, and he's got 9 upcoming. So you know what I mean? Like he has 9 movies that he's in that haven't even been edited all the way yet. So the sheer number of them, you're like we're all forgetting the worst of them probably, or at least all the stuff in the middle. And yeah, I mean I agree with you. I don't know if he's such a good actor as much as he's just happens to be good once in a while.
Ducky Rimfire said Gone in 60 Seconds was good the first time I watched it. The original Gone in 60 Seconds, well, the remake with Cage is a better movie, but the original has probably the greatest car chase ever filmed. It's half the movie. It's the movie itself is not a great movie. It's a B movie, but the car chase is one of the greatest.
The one up here that, dang, it just went past it. Oh, the Spider-Verse one. I don't know if people care about Spider-Verse, but Cage is like a black and white version of Spider-Man.
Yeah, they're coming out with a movie with Cage playing it's not, he's not
Cage needs to do it or nothing. I just think that that's a cool version of Spider-Man.
No, he is doing a Spider-Man movie. the noir Spider-Man, and he's
then-
not Peter Parker. I watched the video on it. I don't remember the name from the movie, and they explained why he's not Peter Parker.
I guess he has a different origin story. You're saying that would make sense. That's interesting. I'm going
Kentucky
through
Route Fire.
here, and there's like so many. Wind Talkers is another Cage one, but you know what I mean. Like anybody could have been. I like the movie more than I care about Cage being in the movie. But there's so many Cage movies I haven't seen, and there's a couple that I've seen, and then a couple that I've seen that I liked. So he's in The Rock. Forgot about that one. And then he gets in the weird ones, right? Like Leaving Las Vegas and that one you were talking about, the kid one.
Yeah,
Those were his first movies. He was in Valley Girl. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, right? Like, so he's been in some stuff. Raising Arizona is the one you were talking about. And then I think a lot of people like Moonstruck. Or is that just a long time ago, people like that?
I never saw it. I remember it, but I didn't watch. I've only seen
Like a
clips.
girl movie. But
Yeah,
he's
it's,
been in a lot of, man, he was in a lot of movies.
it's got what's her face. The singer is in Moonstruck.
Oh, that's right, Cher.
Cher. So now we've got Charlie Sheen, Nicolas Cage for the final. G-Webs.
Red Dawn. So like I just got done looking at all this guy's movies, but he ain't been in Red Dawn.
Gizzard.
Well, you got the literal battle of the heavyweights here. I tell you. I'm gonna have to go with Sheen.
Sheen. Barbecue.
Tiger Blood.
Sheen.
It's Oba.
Yeah, on the whole, I will say I probably prefer more Nicolas Cage movies, but I think Charlie Sheen is the better actor. So Charlie Sheen is the best of the worst action stars. Worst action. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it seems pretty fair.
Goddamn Bacon brings up Wicker Man. Not the bees.
Should I watch Wicker Man again? Is it good? I know I can't remember it at all.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
I don't know if it's a factor or not, but like the Statham guy, like he's been in a ton of movies. He's sort of like Charles Bronson. Like he's always that one character, like the European guy who's got some vengeance or whatever. And but his movies are available. Like I can go to Amazon and watch 13 of his movies. So I don't know if that plays a role, but you know what I mean? Like some of these people are so famous that you have to pay $2 to watch their movie or be on some subscription service other than Amazon to watch their movies. So, you know what I mean? If I'm not able to watch their movies over and over, or like when I feel like it, then I don't know. Like I say, I don't know if that plays a role for me. Like, you know, just the amount of times I've been able to watch the movie kind of thing.
Oh, so G-Webs, Mr. Webs. Anything you got coming up?
Probably. I went and sorted a bunch of knives, so we'll probably be doing some things. Gotta get rid of a bunch of junk. So stay tuned to the gear channels.
Gizzard. How about you? Are you going to be back to your chat on Monday?
We're gonna try it. Let's put it that way. I may have to have some help getting through it, but we're gonna give it a try anyway. So yeah, Monday night, 9:00 Central Daylight Time. Make sure and set your clocks forward an hour if you haven't already done so. And we'll see you then. Thanks for having me.
Oh, what about you, Barbecue?
we'll try and have a show Thursday night. It's gone well the last 2 weeks as far as having the show. We've had some more 2A related topic and discussion the last 2 shows. Felt like they went, I wouldn't say off the rails, but they missed the point of the topics, I felt like, for the most part. So we'll see if I can find a way to keep it on point. But other than that, I'd like to encourage everybody to go over, check out the links in this description and other description videos or video descriptions of DM Foss's. Find his swag store and go get some DM Foss swag.
It's not there anymore.
Oh, son of a gun.
Sorry, Charlie. Well, next chat will be next Saturday night, but coming up soon, it will no longer be Saturday nights. We're going to be moving.
You mean because of the time change? Technically, it'll be 11 p.m. It'll only be a late night, not an overnight.
Nope. Starting the first Sunday in April, which happens to be Easter, it just kind of fell that way. I didn't intend it that way. We're going to move to Sunday mornings.
Is this April Fool's? Like, we don't know this is real or not.
Nope, it's going to be real. So,
So
the
this
change
show
is
will be
coming.
live on Sunday morning, right after Gizzards' early morning show.
It will be instead of Gizzard's morning show. So, we'll talk about it more in the coming couple weeks.
So
But
any kind of compensation for the people that you abandon in the overnight slot who are going to be waking up alone, an empty part of their lives because they can't jump into an overnight show anymore.
nope, all sales are final.
Suckers.
So, thank you to everybody that was out there in the chat. If you watch this replay, if you made it this far, thank you. You're awesome. Leave a comment. Whatever we talked about, agree with, disagree with. I read all the comments and I do appreciate them very, very much. So, other than that, I hope everybody has a good rest of the night and go do